So we're gonna do a little unboxing today, okay? This is something I ordered back in November, and it finally arrived in February. So, haven't even opened it. I already know what's inside, but we're going to open it together, okay? Because this vlog is about what is on this, okay? So this is a Christmas ornament that I wanted to utilize, but wasn't able to because it arrived way too late. So here's what it says. It says, I have an angel in heaven, I call her my daughter. So that's what this vlog is all about, okay? It's a very personal one, and I decided to share this with you all because I was inspired by a post that I saw today, actually, and one of my friends on social media, and I imagine a lot of other people are probably going through the same thing, but like I said, this is what kind of prompted this impromptu vlog, right? And she lost a daughter, and I did too. And I want to share that experience with you all. And I want to tell you what helped me, how I got through it, how I basically survived the heartache. Because I tell you, that's one of the biggest, most painful heartaches anyone could ever and will ever experience in their lifetime. So, let's take you back to that day, all right? So I remember I was watching TV with my mom. This was my first child. I'd never been pregnant prior to, so I didn't know much about anything. I didn't know much about how to feel, what to expect, what to be on the lookout for. So I remember I was sitting and watching TV with my mom, and I said, Mom, my stomach hurts. So she was like, Iha, which basically daughter, she was like, Iha, I think it's time. And I was like, time for what? She says, I think you're about to give birth. And you know, moms know best. And so I was like, really? I just think my stomach hurts. She was like, no. She was like, I think you're about to give birth. Make sure that you time how often you're getting these. Are you cramping? What does it feel like? Do you feel like you have to use the bathroom? Do you feel like you're having menstrual cramps? And honestly, it just felt like menstrual cramps, right? But then I was also confused because I'm like, I don't know. So I just listened to my mom. So she was like, make sure you time it. And if it's pretty much like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, then that means that you're that you're having contractions, that you're in active labor, right? So I was like, oh my gosh. I got so excited. I get up, I go and get dressed. Actually, I hopped in the shower first because I wanted to be fresh for the big day, right? I already had a hospital bag pre-packed, ready to go, but still not ready to go because I didn't know. I'm an overpacker, all right? I like to overpack just because I want to have a variety, right? So this baby was set up, okay? She had a whole bunch of outfits. I don't know where she was gonna go, what she was going to do, but you would have thought she was, I don't know, doing some sort of fashion show. She had all sorts of outfits prepared. I had toys prepared. Not knowing much, I told you. So I had a whole bunch of toys prepared. I had like rattles. I had stuffed animals. I mean, I had a comb. most babies come out with no hair, but I just was overly prepared. So I'm rummaging through my stuff, making sure that, that I had everything I needed, and I hop in the shower, and now I'm timing it. I'm watching the time, I'm watching the clock, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is every 5 minutes. This is coming on pretty frequently and consistently. So then I contacted my OBGYN, and I told them how I was feeling and that I had been timing it. And so my doctor advised me to go ahead and get checked. So I said, should I go to the hospital? She said, no, let me check you first. Come into the office. And I said, okay. So I get to the office, and they do the Doppler and, checking for the heartbeat, and there was nothing. I didn't worry too much about it. She liked to hide. So throughout my pregnancy, she would always give everybody a hard time because she liked to hide. So it's almost like she knew when you would feel for her, because oh my God, I'm sorry. I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared for that in the world. Sorry. So it was almost like she knew. I don't mean to cry. Sorry. That somebody was trying to look for her, and so she would play hide and seek. So that was all 9 months of my pregnancy, because mind you, at this time I was term. I was 9 months pregnant, and that week was my due week. Okay. So I just said, oh, she's there. Just keep looking. I'm not worried. I was absolutely not worried about it at all. So she says, no. The ultrasound technician said there's no heartbeat. And I was like, okay, she'll come out later. She's just there hiding. So she says, I think it's better if we send you to the hospital. They'd never done that to me before, but I figured, hey, I'm term, so maybe they think I am gonna give birth. So I'm still excited. I was excited as I was when my mom, the level of excitement never depleted. It never subsided. It never plummeted. It stayed the same, right? I was cruising through it. And so I get to the hospital, I'm getting ready, and they did an actual ultrasound, because they said, we're not gonna do that. Let's go take a look at the baby. And so they bring the ultrasound machine, and they also wanted to show me as they were seeing it for the first time themselves. So we both were going to see it at the same time. So they did the ultrasound, and there was no heartbeat. The baby's heart was not beating. I could see it, they could see it, and it was right there in my face, because prior to, all I was listening to was the sound, but this time I could see it, and I'm still in denial. And I said, what do I know? It's my first child. So I figured, no, it's gonna come on. It was almost like it was like a switch, like, is it gonna come on? No, right? And they said, no, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna. Basically, they confirmed that she had passed on, right? And so at this time, it was a bunch of people in my room, and I started to believe it. So sorry. When people get emotional on vlogs or things like that, it's not that it's corny. I wasn't trying to do it. I think that showing emotion is very real.
and it's very natural. I just was not trying to do one of those vlogs, okay? But I'm human, hey. So when they confirmed it, that's when I started to believe it, and I was like, I just was hysterical. Like, I screamed like I had never screamed before. I was so loud you could hear me through the whole maternity floor. I was screaming. I was just out of control. I lost it. I just lost it, because here I was, ignorance is bliss, right? They say. So here I was, completely blissful and not believing what anybody said, because I just knew they weren't right. They were wrong, right? So the unfortunate part, one of the unfortunate parts, it was just a series of them, was I still had to give birth because the baby had to come out. So they had to bring on my labor by inducing me. So they gave me Pitocin to kind of kickstart the process, and I was in active labor for a good long while, and nighttime falls. And now I'm really feeling it, and it's really time to go. And, I was intermittently falling asleep, and at this time, it was go time. So everybody was ready. Again, something in me just kind of said, nope. Medicine has been defied so many times. They're wrong. They're all wrong. All of them. Even the doctors. They're all wrong. None of them know what they're talking about. So I had to push, and then the baby was out. And much to no one's surprise but mine, she was not alive. So at this point, I'm delusional, delirious. It's wishful thinking, I guess. And I was still waiting. I was waiting for her to take a deep breath. I was waiting for her to cry. I was waiting for some sort of sign of life. Right? So I'm telling her to wake up, because wake up, baby, wake up. And that wasn't happening. So they got her cleaned up, and they had to take her from me naturally. So get her all situated, and I still didn't believe them, so I asked them for my baby back. I called down and I said, hey, can I have my baby now? And they said, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. So they said, okay, we'll bring her back up. So she was all nice and nicely bathed and fresh clothes and swaddled. And they give her to me, and she was still kind of soft. Like you could feel her cheek kind of still bouncy. Because I was touching it, and I was like, oh, baby, you gotta wake up. And I was like, and I would sing her to sleep and talk to her. I was like a crazy lady, right? Talk to her, sing her to sleep. I slept with her. I talked to her. I told her stories. I did a whole bunch with her the time that I had her. But every hour they had to come back and take her from me because they had to freshen her up. So every hour they would take her from me because they had to freshen her up. And every hour I would call them and I'd say, what time are you going to bring my baby back? I was very, I was obsessed. Right? And every hour I would call them and I'd say, what time are you going to bring my baby back? I was very, I was obsessed. And every hour I would call them and I'd say, what time are you going to bring my baby back? I was very, I was obsessed. Right? And every hour I would call them and I'd say, what time are you going to bring my baby back? I was very, I was obsessed. And every hour I would call them and I'd say, what time are you going to bring my baby back? I was very, I was obsessed. So I did that for 2 days straight. I don't think I slept because I just held her. Because a part of me kind of wanted to believe that was gonna be ending soon, but then a part of me was like, no, I'm gonna get to keep my baby with me and I'm gonna get to take her home. So I did that for 2 days, and then I had to leave. They discharged me. They said, you're good to go. And they started to talk to me about my options. I didn't have any money, so either have a funeral for the baby or give the baby up to the hospital so they could cremate the baby with the rest of the babies. Do you know how hard? Sorry. Do you know how hard of a decision that was? But I had to make a decision. I had to make it. So I said, I can't afford to have a funeral, so you can take her. So I said, okay. So what do? They wheel in this wicker basket, right? I don't know if that sounds horrible to you, but I guess that's their process. I don't know. So they bring this wicker basket in, and in it was a bunch of baby blankets. And my family was there, and they were all prepared, and each one of them had a rose. I was the only one unprepared because I was still in complete denial. So they told me I had to go. So I held my baby, and then I put her in the wicker basket. They wrapped her up to where I couldn't see her anymore because she was piled up with blankets. And then one by one, everybody started to put a rose on top of her. And then they had to wheel me out of my room. And you know where the wicker basket was? The wicker basket was on the bed. She was by herself. And I was leaving her. And I didn't want to leave her. But I had to. That was the hardest goodbye in my life. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm so sorry I got emotional. I'm sorry. But I was depressed. I fell into depression for months. I talked to no one. I did nothing. I watched nothing. I don't know if I ate or not. I don't remember. I remember not wanting to see babies or families. That was a tough time. And fast forward to 2018. Okay. The last of my children was born. And I remember leaving the hospital, and as I'm getting wheeled out of my room, I see one of the hospital staff wheeling a wicker basket. And over it was a black curtain, and I knew what that meant. That meant that that a mom was not going to be able to take her baby home that day. And I just lost it. My husband was so confused. He hadn't seen the wicker basket. He hadn't seen what was going on, but I was paying attention to my surroundings, so I saw what was happening. And I say that to say that the wound hasn't healed. I don't think I've given myself enough time to grieve. So that's why when I saw that again, the emotions felt equally strong as the day I lost my child. So for you moms who are currently going through something similar, just know that time does heal all wounds if you allow it, right? So if you want to cry, please cry your eyes out. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. Do whatever it is that's going to comfort you in the moment, and continue to do so. Grieving is okay. There's no greater loss. It's okay to not be okay, right? But I promise you that eventually you'll be okay. I do look at all my children and think, what would she would look like at 17, because I have a 17-year-old. What would she would look like at 15, because I have a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old. And hearing the last baby talk, right? I've always wondered what she would sound like, able to help parents out there who are going through something similar. It's okay to not be okay. But just know that eventually you will be. It's okay to cry. Please talk to whoever you would like to talk to, whenever you would like to talk to them, because it's so important to not keep it bottled in. If you made it this far, I just want to thank you for your time, and as always, I appreciate you all, and love, love, love.